Oh, hey everybody. Mo Freegan here. You can see I'm in the hospital call room. That means we're getting some medical EDC today. I just wanted to go through my EDC that I use while on shift in the emergency department. So hang out and we'll get right to it. All right. First up, in my right cargo pocket, I carry this flashlight. This is the ThruNite TH30 V2, over 3,000 lumens max. It has variable settings and it charges USB-C. It comes with a strap, a head strap. It actually came with one that comes over the top for like a helmet, or if you need some extra security, you could wear it over the top of your head. I guess I've never needed that much security hanging on my head. It just does just fine with it, just with the band. I had a lesser light headlamp that was much more manageable in my pocket. This is quite a chonker, but it just wasn't bright enough. When I started to use it for suturing in the emergency department, I needed something quite bright. We do have overhead lights in a lot of the rooms, which we can use for suturing, or stitching someone. But it seems that a lot of the times the patients who need stitching, they put them in the rooms that don't have the lights because they also don't have monitors, and usually people with lacerations don't need to be on the monitors. And so I'm suturing a lot of people in rooms without overhead lights. And so I just carry this around with me, and I felt like, you can keep it in your bag, but then you're already in a room and you're like, all right, getting ready to suture, and you're like, I can't see. I need my headlamp. And so I just am able to pull it out of my pocket and turn it on. It's got a removable battery. It has come on in my pocket before, and if I can get some B-roll, I'll put in here the spots on the band that have melted because the light came in contact to the band and melted it. But since I figured out the lockout, which is just unscrew it a little bit, in my pocket, that hasn't happened again, but I have had it come apart in my pocket, but it's not a big deal, and have the battery fall out in my pocket, it's not a big deal. So that's the ThruNite TH30 V2, highly recommended. All right, next up, in my right pocket, clipped like a pocket knife, I keep my Raptor, my Leatherman Raptors. The ubiquitous tool for EMS and emergency department. I end up using this quite a bit. I take my knife out of my front pocket and I put that in a separate spot, and then I carry this around in my right front pocket where I would carry my knife for easy deployment. All right, there's the Leatherman Raptor. You can see that extended out. You push these buttons here and they fold in. There's one on each side. There's that pocket clip right there. I have seen people use on the back side here, maybe I can show you on a tabletop B-roll, they have a little ring cutter here. I've seen a lot of these break. I guess Leatherman will replace those, but I mean, we have other tools that we use. It's really hard to get rings off people sometimes when their finger gets real swollen and injured. It's really nice when it's just gold. You know what I mean? That it's real soft metal. These can cut through it most of the time. And if we have to use another means, it's really easy. And then you can go to the jeweler and get it put back together. Versus tungsten or all these other things and titanium and all this stuff that people are making their rings out of. They're a lot harder to get off. So stick with gold if you can, peeps. Help out the ER. Help out yourself. Help out yourself. This isn't medical advice, you guys. Talk to your doctor about what rings to wear. But that's just my experience in the emergency department. The fold down wrench and pull cutter. There's that wrench there, and there's the pull cutter. Oh, I forgot to mention the glass breaker. They don't have an all black one. That's the only problem with these. These are a gift. I I've seen some off-brand clones looking stuff that are all black. I don't know about the metal on these. I think the metal on these ring cutters on the back of these are shoddy enough. I don't know if I want to risk another company and whatever metal that they're using on that. But the next thing, I have a number of pens here in my front pocket that I put in my front pocket when I'm on shift. Sharpie S-Gel. I think these are right amazing. They make an all metal one now, and it's all black. Right? You got to have that. So I have these. I got to buy boxes of these and use these for when I need to take notes in the ER. I keep a dry erase marker. There's a little whiteboard in the room. I can write down, draw pictures and stuff on it if I need to. Like, here's your gallbladder. Here's where the stones get into the neck and it causes it to back up. And then your gallbladder's pushing and it can't get any of that bile out. So it really hurts when you eat fatty foods. Or I can write my name and say, hey, Mo Freegan, I'm your doctor. It's going to take 2 hours to get your scans back. I get the industrial ones just because I don't. There's supposedly some more heat resistance, probably useless for what I use it for in the ER, which is just drawing around people's infections on their legs, their skin infections, and saying, hey, if it goes outside of this line, hey, maybe we need to change up your antibiotic. And then, put a date on it. And they're like, with permanent marker, I'm like, hey, if I use anything else, it's not going to stay. All right. Lastly, in my front pocket, I keep this Penlight. I take my typical EDC flashlight out of my left pocket that I keep clipped in my left pocket, and I put this in my breast pocket here. And I also have that other ThruNite in my other pocket, so I think I can get rid of my EDC light when I'm in the ER. I got 2 other ones, but this is the WUBEN PLO1 Penlight. It's got 650 lumens, adjustable so it's a full click, turns it on. And then half clicks, adjust it down so that you can get down to a moonlight mode. This is good for, checking pupils. And then as I need to look in people's throats, I can get it adjusted up higher and say ah, and people suck at saying ah. If you ever try to tell somebody, hey, say ah so I can look at the back of your throat, they can't do it. They're terrible at it. I don't know what to tell you. Kids, adults, anybody. And then you get the tongue depressor out, and then it chokes them, and people just, I don't know, people just don't like opening up their mouths very wide. Not 100% sure what's going on there, but that's the other thing I keep in my front pocket. This light I bought replaces the previous pen light I was using, which is the Rovivon Aurora 833. That light died on me, where the button stopped working. Let me see how long ago I bought that light. May of 22. So it lasted 3 years, 3.5 years almost. The button stopped working. It also had a weird thing where you would leave it charging for too long, and then it would go, and you couldn't turn it off until it totally wore the battery out. And then you'd have to recharge it up again, and then you'd have to watch it and make sure it didn't charge for too long, or else it would do it again. So it's a weird light. I don't have any long-term reviews on the WUBEN PLO1 because I just got it, but I already like the UI better. I'm not a huge double click. The Rovivons are a double click on. I'm not a huge fan of that. But then this light really doesn't have a lockout. Lastly, something I've been carrying more on shift than not on shift is the Tech Accessories tie tape measure. Let me get it on the tabletop and show you how small it actually is and quite lightweight. I got on a deal where it had some money off and also was given some free replacement tape with it. It's supposed to be black, but as you can see here, it just has some faint dark gray wavy pattern on there, but not really black as I would say something is black. But it's kind of my fidget that I keep in my pocket in the ER. It's pretty crazy. I mean, you can once you're a fidgeter, you're gonna fidget, right? And I just push down on the top of that metal there, and it kind of bounces back up, just enough, quiet enough. I can do it in my pocket when I'm talking to patients, and I'm just tapping away on it, tapping away. Or I can also kind of expand the tape out with my finger there. It's just multiple ways to fidget with it. Am I going to wear it out? Probably doing that. Probably. And then you think, oh, I'm going to measure some wounds with it sometime where you can get it out and say, oh yeah, that laceration repair was 5 centimeters, and you can get it out and measure it. But I've measured my fingers here, and it's 5 centimeters across. My 3 fingers here. My 2 fingers across is 3 centimeters. These 2 fingers. Let me just check that right now. The same. So that's usually enough for me to estimate the length of a laceration, unless it's really long, and then I'll get out my tape for it. But that's why I thought maybe I'd bring it on here. Coming back to film, but I forgot to mention my stethoscope, which I carry on me around my neck in the emergency department to listen to lung. But this is the 3M Littmann Cardiology 4, ubiquitous, except for I got this gold bell, so I didn't get to pick it, but if it ever goes out, I'd probably get an all black one. That's the stethoscope. You got to have that on you too. All right, everyone, that's a quick overview of my emergency department EDC. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll put those links down in the description for some of those items if you're interested. I'll put in the ones that were the items that I stopped using as well, in case you wanted to check those out. If I mentioned it, I'll put it down there. And then put them on down there. You know where they go. Subscribe, like, all the things. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.